your girl's channel. And if you are not new here, wait, I said that wrong. Cut. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to your girl's channel. If you're not new, dang, I did it again. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to your girl's channel. If you're new here, my name is Jaleah. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're not new here, hey! So today's video is basically gonna be a Netflix recommendations. I've seen so many of these. I've personally never watched them because I always hear people around me, we all watch Netflix. So, you know, the family members be putting me on, friends be putting me on, everybody just be putting me on shows. But one thing about me is I don't follow the hype. So if a show is super hyped up, I'm not gonna watch it right away. Like, I'm gonna give it some time to die down and then I'll go watch the preview and then I'll be like, yeah, no, this ain't for me. That's just that. I'm not a hype follower, so if that makes sense when it comes to Netflix shows, because some of them be trash. Like, I never watched Squid Games. Unpopular opinion, probably, but comment down below if you didn't watch it either, because what? I'm not gonna make this intro super long because I'm literally just talking about shows. Not much more to be said than what is already said, so let's hop right into this video. Oh, yeah. 24/7. All these shows, by the way, will be in the description box. If you see this light, I'm looking on my iPad right now. I wrote all the shows down so I wouldn't forget any. And then I do have some like honorable mentions, whatever, Jaleah. Okay, anyway, I have shows that I would recommend, but there's an extra part to that. So there's a reason why it's not a show I would really recommend. Anyway, the first show that I'm gonna talk about is Queen of the South. It has 4 seasons and a 5th season is coming, but it's not on Netflix. I don't know if it will come on Netflix, but it's not on Netflix. I absolutely love this show. So I watched it when it was on TV, if that makes sense. So hopefully they'll put it on Netflix. Definitely recommend Queen of the South. It was so good. Check out the trailer. I'ma just tell y'all to check out the trailer for all of them because I'm the type of person, if I get too far talking about a show or a movie or something like that, I'ma kind of give it away about what it's about. Girl, what? I don't think that makes sense. Cut. I'm the type of person, if I give too much away, you're gonna figure out how it ends. I don't want to do that in this video because some of y'all will be throwing hands and want to watch the show, but all of these shows that I'm about to give y'all are so freaking good, like, binge-worthy. Definitely binge-worthy. Okay, so the next show is Ozark. It has 3 seasons, and then season 4, part 1, don't mind the hands. Season 4, part 1 is coming out on January 21st, I'm pretty sure. Ozark is super good. Like, I want to say he was like an accountant, and then he starts laundering money for, I think, a gang or something, and he has to launder a certain amount in a certain amount of time. So definitely check that out. The next show is Outer Banks. It has 2 seasons, and they just said a 3rd one's coming. So super excited. I actually watched the 1st season in freaking one day. I think I pulled an all-nighter to even watch it. It was really good. It's a teenage series kind of show. Very adventurous. They do a whole lot of. You wouldn't even think that they're like teenagers. I think they're like 17 to 18 in the show. Like, you wouldn't think they're teenagers. The stuff they get into, I couldn't even imagine getting into. Like, what? Where are your parents? Anyway, the next show is Never Have I Ever, and it has 2 seasons, and then the 3rd season is coming out. This is another like teenage show, but it's like a coming of age. I think I'm using this term correctly. I don't really know. But it's like a coming of age show where she is trying to figure everything out. Like, you know, when teenagers go, like, they explore things, different things like that. So that's why I called it a coming of age. Because she's coming of age to want to try new things. The next show is Blood and Water. This is a South African show, I want to say. So they have like South African accents. I want to say these people are really from South Africa and they got casted for the show, which is super cool because I know a lot of shows, sometimes they cast people that don't really speak how they want them to speak for the role, if that makes sense. That's a really good show. They're basically rich and she's trying to find out if girl that she goes to school with now is her sister that's been missing for like, I want to say 17 years. And it's kind of the same thing as Outer Banks, that the stuff they would get into, you be wanting to ask, like, where are your parents? Where are your parents? Because what? Oh, okay. definitely check that out. It's a super good show. I really like it. I was very surprised that it got renewed because most of the characters are black and it's like a black show. So it kind of just threw me for a loop, and I'm glad they did bring it back because I absolutely love it. So the next season is Dead to Me. It has 2 seasons and the 3rd season is coming. I tried to give y'all shows that were coming back so like y'all wouldn't watch 1 season and be left on a cliffhanger. At the end there'll be like a few, I'll explain like what happened to the shows. I'm calling them honorable mentions because they're good shows. They either didn't get renewed, they're limited series or something like that, where I didn't feel like I don't want to waste y'all time, but they're good shows to watch. So definitely like check them out if you're ever just bored and want something quick to watch. I highly recommend them. How do I not have How to Get Away with Murder on here? This was super good. Basically, the main character, her wife was, this is a super good show. Basically, the main character, her husband gets hit in a hit and run accident and he dies. For the entire show, she tries to figure out what happened to her husband and stuff like that. The main character though, she did just get, I'm pretty sure this is her. I'm gonna edit this out if not, but if it's still in this video, then it's true because I looked it up and made sure, but I swear I seen this. The main character got diagnosed with MS, so I don't know like how long this show is gonna go on for because, you know, things like this take time, and if you have like a disease or a condition, filming shows and movies and stuff like that can be really difficult. So just a heads up, I don't know if y'all knew that, but it might not be on for much longer if her condition worsens, which I hope it doesn't, but you never know. So just a heads up. The next one is Schitt's Creek. I'm not cussing, y'all see it on the screen and how it's spelled. It's actually the family of the show, it's their last name in the show. It has 6 seasons and this show does end, like it has a firm end, so the show is done, it's not coming back, but it doesn't leave you hanging. Like I hate shows that'll end and like you'll be like what happened, and they just never got renewed again to do a next season, but they chose to end this show, so it has an ending. Just thought I would give y'all a heads up because personally I hate shows like that. Of course you don't want to go to the last episode and be like, okay, so did it have an actual ending or not? Like what happened? This one has an actual ending, so you're not just watching it just to watch it. It'll end. Super good. Basically they lose all of their money, so they move to some town that's kind of very rural. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Very rural. Anyway, it's very rural, so they try to like figure out ways to make money and just overall be comfortable in their new setting because it's nothing like they were used to. Like they were literally rich. 6 seasons and it does have an ending. So the next one is Money Heist. I know a lot of you have probably watched this already. If you haven't, go check that out. So freaking good. Like I love this show. This one also has an ending. All 5 parts. They call it parts, but they're kind of like seasons. All 5 seasons are on Netflix and it has an ending, like I said, about Schitt's Creek. So it's done. It's never coming back, but super good. Highly recommend. A lot of ups and downs, but definitely worth it. The next one is Lupin. This is like, I want to say an English show. I think it's English because he has like a little accent. I think it's an English show. Super good. He's basically like a master, I don't know what you would call it, but he's really good at disguising himself and he does different things. I'll put the trailer in the description box so y'all can watch it for yourselves before I go and say way too much. Definitely a good show. It has 2 parts, again, basically like 2 seasons. I don't know if it's gonna come back, but I really like it, so I really hope it does. The next one is Designated Survivor. It has 3 seasons and I don't remember if it ended like with an end, but I want to say it did. Don't hold me to that. I apologize, but don't hold me to that. I'll go back and watch the last episode before I edit this, and then I'll tell y'all on the screen if it has an ending or not. It's not coming back. At first, it was on ABC, and then I guess it didn't do good enough, so they snatched it off, and then I guess Netflix bought it, and then they kept it going. But I think ABC did 2 seasons, and Netflix only did 1. So, yeah, kind of like a tricky situation, I guess. I can't remember if it ended, but like I said, it'll be on the screen somewhere if it ended or not. I'll definitely tell y'all, but it has 3 seasons. Super good. It's like, it's about the presidency, like basically all the things that they have to deal with. It's fictional, it's not real, but gives a little insight to what goes on inside the White House if you're ever curious, but with drama. It has a lot of drama. Okay, so the next one is Manifest. This is another one that you've probably already watched. It has 3 seasons and a 4th one is coming. I really like this show. It's kind of different from what I normally like. It's kind of different from what I normally watch. It's kind of like sci-fi in a way if you think about it, but it's super good. Like the stuff behind it, the messages behind it are really good. I like that part. Like I like subliminal things. Like don't just tell me everything, let me figure some out. You know? So I really like it. I'm glad it's coming back. I'm pretty sure this was like quarantine times that this came out, so that's why I think it was like super popular and took off. Okay, and the last show that I'm gonna recommend that y'all go check out is How to Get Away with Murder. Now, when this was on like regular TV, I was probably like, I was a young bull. Like I was really, really a young bull. So I never watched it. And then as I got older, you know, I did get Netflix and stuff. It seemed really overhyped to me. Now let me tell you, I'm not one for the hype. I'm not one for the hype. And I will tell you if a show, a movie, anything is trash. This show right here is definitely worth watching. Like it has 6 seasons, totally worth it. Like Viola Davis's, her skills in this show is amazing. Like I see why it stayed on TV for as long as it did, because it was definitely worth it. It was one of the best shows I've ever watched on Netflix, even like not even on Netflix, just shows in general. Like so good. I would highly recommend you go check this show out if you didn't already, because again, I'm late to the bandwagon because I don't like hype, but that's just me. But if you haven't watched it, that's probably like one of the top 3 that I tell you go watch right now after you watch this video, or you could click out right now. It don't even matter to me. It don't even matter. Now we're gonna move on to my honorable mentions. These are shows that don't have endings. Well, no, I can't even say that. These are shows that have 1 season or they're limited series, so I don't know how long they're gonna be on Netflix for you to watch. So if you're watching this in 3 years and something's not on Netflix, this is probably why it's a limited series and it's not coming back. Although one of these shows has been on there for a while. I watched this like a while ago and it's still on there because like I said, I went and checked everything just to make sure that everything was still on there. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much, but basically there's a reason why it's an honorable mention and not like a 10 out of 10 go watch. So here we go. So Good Girls is the first one. It has 3 seasons and there's a 4th season, but it's not on Netflix. I don't even know what station it comes on because I just stopped watching it, but it's supposed to come to Netflix in March of 2022. That's what some blog said. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what some blog said, and I just kind of went with it because most of the time they're right. But the reason why it's in the honorable mention is because at first it was really good. Like you really thought that they were doing something. I'm not gonna give you the plot because it's kind of like all over the place. But anyway, it's really good in the beginning. Like you get into it, and then like bad stuff just keeps happening. So they'll fix one problem, and then another problem will come. They'll fix one problem, and then another problem will come. So it's just a lot of that back and forth that me personally I don't like because it gets repetitive. And you're just like, okay, so what's gonna happen bad next? So when they're doing one thing, you're thinking about, okay, so what could go wrong right now that's gonna come back and haunt them. So it's kind of like a give and take. It's a good show, but just the back and forth with the good and the bad is not for me. I don't like that. You gotta like switch it up on me. Switch it up. The next one is On My Block. This is an honorable mention because y'all have probably seen this. Again, it's like a teenage show, so they're going through the motions of growing up and growing apart from their friend group and things like that. It has 4 seasons and it does have an ending. I forgot to say that How to Get Away with Murder also has an ending, so it ends. It's 6 seasons and it ends, so that's always a plus. But like I said, On My Block I put in the honorable mentions because a lot of people probably have already seen this, so you know I'm not gonna waste your time in the beginning talking about stuff you might have already seen. But if you didn't go watch it, there's nothing wrong with this show that I don't like personally. It's a really good show. I just figured a lot of people have already seen it. The next one is Sneakerheads. It has 1 season. If you're just, like I said, if you're looking for something to bypass time or something quick to watch real quick. Okay, quick to watch real quick. If you're looking for something quick to watch, Sneakerheads is one of them. If you like sneakers, you're familiar with the whole like resale process, whatever, go check it out. Pretty sure this isn't coming back because I think it's like the first season was from like 2020, if not 2019. But it got a little good plot. The next show, y'all, this is the show that I was talking about. I think I said it back there somewhere. Before this, earlier in the video, Grand Army. Now I know that I'm not the only person out here who feels like this. Grand Army was such a freaking good show. Like, again, it was another teenage show. Talked about a lot of things that teenagers go through, and they're not renewing it. It's not coming back. It's one season. I really thought that show was like a banger. Like, that would have been up in the 10 out of 10 recommendations. That would have been up there, because this show is amazing. So if you're looking for a show out of the honorable mentions to watch, just go try and watch Grand Army, and then we could just write a mass email to Netflix and tell them, like, yo, pick it back up. Yeah, run it back. Because this show was so good. Like, I really enjoyed watching it. It had a lot, like I said, a lot of good messages. I'm all about the messages that are subliminally hinted, and even like some of them that they tell you. Like, this show was just a 10 out of 10. The next one is called Behind Her Eyes, and it has one season, but it's a limited series, so it makes sense. So it does have an ending. Definitely check this out if it's still on there when you're watching. Super, super good. It's all about, it's like mind games that it kind of plays with you, but it makes sense in the end. So like these limited series, I like to think of them as like long movies, because that's basically what they are. You don't have to wait too long for the truth to come out, or, you know, for it to end. Behind Her Eyes, 10 out of 10. Go watch it if it's still available when you're watching. The next one is You Cannot Hide. This has one season, and I'm pretty sure it's not coming back. Basically, I think her daughter gets kidnapped, and you kind of get where that goes. This is also like I want to say like a Spanish speaking show. I think it's in Spanish, and it doesn't take place in the US. It's like a Spanish speaking country too. But yeah, super good. In a way it ends, and then in a way it doesn't. So check it out, see if you like it. The next one is Ginny and Georgia. One season so far, but season 2 is coming out. I'm very excited for that because I did like Ginny and Georgia. Basically, her mom's white, she's biracial. Her mom just moves around all the time. So it's a really good show. I think a lot of people could relate to it. I'm a very empathetic person, so I feel other people's feelings like so easily. Like, I don't really have to try too hard to feel what you're feeling, which kind of makes me emotional, but no, that's okay. That's okay. Like, what? Like, feeling other people's feelings is such, like, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. But I would say it's more of a good thing, because you don't make people feel bad because you feel bad for them, if that makes sense. Because it's like, I relate. It's easy to relate to people and what they're going through. If you're a very empathetic person, I think you'll like the show. But it's not sad. It's definitely not a sad show. Again, she's a teenager, so she's coming of age, doing different things, exploring things, different things like that. Like I said, season 2 is coming, so hopefully they keep it coming and they don't just stop. But I think a lot of people liked it, because again, this was a show that I think came out during quarantine, or like when we were supposed to stay away from people. I really liked it, so check it out. The next one is All American. Like I said, this is a show I'm pretty sure, if not all of you, most of you have seen, so it's in the honorable mentions. I don't know, hold on, because I'm about to go check. I have it as 3 seasons, but I think it's 4. So I just checked. All American has 3 seasons on Netflix. A 4th one's coming out, and there's also a spin-off now that I think is coming out in February, like late February. But not on Netflix, because of course it's gonna release. It's still on TV, so the TV is still being run by a TV station, TV program, all that type of stuff. So now a spin-off's coming. So I don't know if the spin-off's gonna be on Netflix, but it's worth it. Like, if you need something to watch over time, All American's one of those. It's not really fast-paced, but you can get through it if you really want to. It takes place in California, Crenshaw, and I want to say Beverly Hills. So like, some of them have money, some of them don't, but the stories, they work together, and you'll see it's about football, but not too much about football. So if you don't like sports, don't not watch it because it's about football, because it's other things in there that I think would like rope you in and keep you engaged in the show. 3 seasons on Netflix. One that's, I think season 4 is still running right now. Like, it's about to start coming out with new episodes. They took a break because of all the holidays, but I think they're about to come back, and a spin-off is coming. And the last one, this is probably one of the most recent things that have came out on my list, honorable mentions and 10 out of 10 recommendations. True Story. 1 season, limited series again, so like a long movie. I really liked it. Kevin Hart is the main character. It takes place in Philly. The plot, super good. Again, it's one of those shows that like you have to think about subliminally. So definitely check it out. The limited series don't take too long to watch. So if you're looking for something, like I said, to watch real quick and kind of finish it, the limited series are the way to go. And they're not slow paced at all because they're limited. So they literally only have, it's probably like, I want to say True Story has like 8 episodes, and they're like, the last one's an hour, and I think the other 7 are a half hour. So it's not too long. It's long, but it's not really long. So definitely go check it out, because that would be another 10 out of 10. It's just a limited series, so I don't know how long it's going to be around. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below any other Netflix recommendations that you have for me or anybody else watching this video, because I haven't watched Netflix in a minute, actually, because I don't know what to watch. Not watching Squid Games, just not happening. I don't really see the hype. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because yeah, I just need to be back on this joint. It just be hard for me to film videos with school and everything else. I'm thinking about a video where I talk about my high school experience. Because if you don't know, I am a senior, but I didn't have a normal 4 years. Like, my freshman year was normal, but my other 3, sophomore, junior, and senior years, I was a college student too. So when I graduate, I'm gonna have a degree. But anyway, that is a story for another time. If y'all are interested, please comment that also down below. But most importantly, sticking with this video, comment some recommendations for us to watch. Talk to me, because I need some shows to watch. Even though I'm supposed to be doing my work, I need some shows to watch. TikTok don't always be cutting it. Sometimes you just want to watch something and not have to scroll. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.